this episode of this series where we're speaking to co-founder CEO Kishore about the organization and about his vision of building the organization up to where it has reached now. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to talk about you, but not you as a person, but you as a CEO. What do you think is a typical CEO's role? Is he like a goalkeeper? Is he like a midfielder, defender, or is he a coach? What do you think is the role of a CEO in any organization that you have noticed around?
I don't know about how other CEOs approach it, but my understanding of a CEO is that he's not just a player. He is also a coach, right? And not just a coach. Additionally, in addition to the role of a coach, he also has to execute a lot of things. So basically, in short, what I feel is the CEO has to be able to develop the vision for the organization. And when I say vision, it is not just the destination part of it or the goals, but also the whole path, clarity about how to get there. And for every problem, any and every problem, the coach or the CEO has to have a solution, has to have a resolution in terms of whatever we are trying to do, both collectively as well as at an individual level, what the conflicts that people face, the goals that they want to achieve collectively, individually. The CEO needs to have clarity of each and every small and big challenges that the company might encounter. So that's what I call a complete vision.
Okay, so vision that kind of anchors the entire organization.
Yes.
So having said this, I think some people might feel that the role of a CEO is very attractive, very rosy, it might, while the others may think that it is very, very challenging. And so how have you designed your role within BBFS and how do you look at it? Is it challenging for you or are you enjoying it?
Well, I'm enjoying it and that's why I've been doing it for a long time now. And I feel that until the time we understand properly and until the time we have clarity, we struggle. But once we have clarity, there is no struggle. And then you only enjoy the role. And the title is not so important in my opinion. The CEO title is not so important. It is as you grow as a person, your influence can grow and automatically, one can get into the role in a very smooth and very kind of automatically as well. For that, of course, each one of us have to kind of work on ourselves, identify where we lack, where we have lack of clarity and where we are not absolutely sure about where do my limits lie, and then just work on them and keep expanding them, on a regular basis. So so for me it is not a challenge because I enjoy doing it, and I don't see whether I was in a role of a CEO or some other role, I don't see any difference in the way I would work. So that makes life very simple. Just do what you feel like, and as long as that approach is benefiting everyone in the company, and it will benefit the company itself, as well as all other stakeholders also. You can have your board members, shareholders. So everyone can benefit if our approach is clean, if our approach is clear, and conceptually strong and fundamentally correct. Then everybody gains from each and every activity that we do.
Absolutely. So it is interesting to note that you said that the designation doesn't matter so much but your vision and the way you anchor the organization really matters. Now, if I ask you, what does a typical day in your life looks like as a CEO, or maybe say a week looks like while you are negotiating different things in the organization or with outsiders, what does a typical day or week look like?
See, for me, it's very normal. I work like any other team member. So my day is not any different. But yes, in terms of, for example, I come to office at the same time that other people come. and I work along with everyone else. There's no difference that,
What are some of your examples of the work that you do for the audience to understand that?
Yeah, a lot of it is, I think, helping people get clarity. Okay, because I have a strong belief that every team member, they want to do good work and they want to do something meaningful and valuable. But sometimes what happens is when things don't work out, that is because, again, there is lack of clarity on what is the right way to go about things to get what you want. So in that sense, I believe, at least from a want perspective, every employee, every team member, when they join the team, they want to do something good only. They want to do great work, good work. But their methods or their understanding may not be adequate to give them the outcomes that they really desire. Okay. So in that sense, so my role becomes to give them clarity and give them and show them how they can get what they want. Right. So a lot of my work involves talking to people within the organization, analyzing data, and seeing where the constraints lie, like where are we stuck, okay, where do the bottlenecks lie, and then help people to address those bottlenecks. And in a lot of cases, I have to show them by example as well. For example, if there is a problem in the company where which no one is able to pick up, then I try to step in and I try to show. I try to learn about it and try to show people how to solve that problem. Again, not necessarily like we may not have the necessary skill to solve that problem. In which case, also we can get people who have the necessary skill. And that's what I need to. That's what I do. So in short, giving clarity to people where they're stuck and where people are not able to execute. Me taking the first step and showing them how to get it done. So it involves a little bit of execution, but a lot of discussions and a lot of problem resolution or conflict resolution is what I say.
So I can vouch for the fact that I have also seen you around telling people to go ahead, experiment, push their limits and see what goes right and what are the learnings from whatever they do. So in this process and this way of working, what do you think have been some of your challenges that you've experienced?
See, I don't think there is any challenge over here. If there were challenges, I would not have done it. I work in this way because I feel this is the path of least resistance. I feel that this is the least resistance for all the people who are involved. Okay, and that's why I do it. I feel this is what gives us maximum outcomes with minimum friction. So for example, like say you want to do something, rather than me telling you what to do, I generally encourage people to decide what they want to do. Because when you join the organization, I'm sure you had some goal in mind that I'll join this new company and this is what I want to do. So your intention was always there. Now you may not have the means or the capability to do it, right? So in which case, the job of a CEO is to provide the necessary means and the necessary resources, as in means or the necessary
platform, maybe.
Sometimes one may lack capability, one may or lack capacity. So then in those cases, the job of the CEO becomes to help enhance the capacity further, so that you're able to get what you want. Okay, and then if we are aligned in terms of the purpose and our value system, then whatever you do will add value to the company. So I try to ensure that to the extent possible, we preserve this personal motivation that every individual has, so which reduces my workload by a large degree. And so that's the selfish interest. Like if I ask you to do something which you don't want to do, then just imagine the amount of energy that I'll have to spend trying to convince you or force you to do what I want. But if what we want in the long run are the same, and so then I can let you free and experiment as per your own interest, your own passion, and your own personal goals as well. So that's how we align everyone.
So interesting when you said that there needs to be an alignment between, say, you and me and everybody around. But I foresee a challenge over here that the company is now growing as we speak, and we are very, very geographically diverse as well. People coming from different backgrounds, people from different regions, from as far as Kochi, Ahmedabad, Chandigarh, Northeast. How do you ensure that everybody is able to align with you in terms of your vision, in the way you want everyone in the organization to work, the culture that you're trying to build? How does that alignment come about?
See, first of all, I feel alignment, for alignment to happen, first there has to be clarity. So I need to have clarity in terms of not just the goals, not just the purpose and goals, short-term goals, medium-term goals, but also how to go about achieving it.
Yeah.
And once I am clear about that, it is all about communicating with everyone who's involved.
Right.
Now, this communication, like you said, may become a bit challenging because people are located across the country. But the only answer, in my opinion, is more and more interactions, valuable interactions, meaningful interactions. And in order to be able to do that at scale, technology can be used. So we use a lot of, and I think we use a lot of technology for our interactions, for our communication. We keep track of the data about, the different kinds of interactions, group interactions, one-on-ones that are happening between all individuals, all 300 plus people in the organization. And I think that is one benefit we got from COVID, that before COVID, we used to do a lot of these things manually or telephonically. I still remember before COVID how it was very challenging. Our entire organization was struggling to actually get on a video conference call on Google Meet or Zoom. But COVID changed all that, and the entire workforce across the country, I feel, became comfortable with video calls online, and that has helped us quite a lot. And we are currently also developing some systems now that the volume of these interactions are kind of growing exponentially from what it was 3-4 years back. We ourselves are building some platforms internally so that we can keep track of these interactions, and all these interactions can also be designed in a very effective way. For example, a lot of time can get wasted in meetings, unnecessary meetings. We don't want to do that. So we want to ensure that these conversations are more meaningful. And in order to do that, there are certain formats and there are certain guidelines in terms of which are the things, what kind of issues need to be addressed during those meetings. Some of these meetings may be work related. Some of these meetings may not be so work related. They may be just about inquiring about the personal wellness of each other. And being able to identify and a lot of work and a lot of discussions around how to identify the various bottlenecks and various points people are stuck, and coming up with an effective strategy and a plan to address those. So that's like in brief how our approach to solving this alignment issue.
Okay, so what really stood out was the fact that every meeting has to have an intention, that what are we trying to achieve from that meeting, and not necessarily every meeting has to be very work related. We do a lot of interactions also to connect with the individual on the other side. So to know that individual better, to understand how is he doing in work, in life as well as at work. So yes, I think that was an interesting thing. And also that you mentioned that COVID has changed us technologically a lot. How do you think has changed the way in which you work, not technologically, but in terms of your priorities of work after COVID? How do you think has changed?
COVID was a time that was challenging in terms of social and financial aspects for all of us. But it also gave us the time and also the opportunity to understand better, understand the relevance of work, understand the relevance of our relationships, understand the relevance of of our own personal wellness, and so many things. And it gave us a lot of time to reflect because operational work, there was not much operational work that was happening. So we spent a lot of time as a team. We spent a lot of time just understanding, learning, talking to each other. almost on an everyday basis.
Okay.
That not only helped the team to, stick together, but also give more clarity on what are the priorities. Right? Because at any point in time, we have a million things that we can do. Right now, for example, the next 1 hour, I can decide to do something out of a list of a million things. So that's not important, right? So that option, those options everybody has. But what is important is to be able to pick from those options, to pick those 1 or 2 things that matter. So this prioritization is what we got a lot of clarity about, what not to do, what to do, and why, why we are in this whole business. And I also worked a lot on myself during that time. I read a lot of books, and I feel like it was after 18 to 20 months after the first lockdown that we got back to our pre-COVID scale. But then that was achieved in a much more efficient manner. I would even as a percentage of revenue, I can say that it was achieved at we saved at least 20-30% of the revenue. If you try to quantify the kind of efficiency that we brought in. Again, that efficiency was brought in not just by technology. See, technology can only be an enabler. But more important than technology is the intellectual alignment between the team members. Once that is there, a lot of work becomes irrelevant and redundant. Right? For example, what we were talking about a little while earlier, if we are aligned on the purpose, and even if we spend 1 month discussing with each other in terms of what is our purpose, long-term purpose, and try to and our value system, and we align over there, what goals you set becomes, for me, I don't need to spend any more time in terms of setting your goal, because then now we have so much of alignment that whether I set the goal or you set the goal, we will arrive. There's high likelihood that we will arrive at the same goal and the same number in terms of the goal. So then I save a lot of work at my end. So that's how I feel. If we are able to align at the right levels, then a lot of operational, logistical tasks which actually take up the time. Your intellectual alignment doesn't take time. Once we understand, it is done. There's nothing faster than the mind. The way the intellect or the way we understand, the speed at which we understand. Once we understand it, right? So once we are aligned, it doesn't take time. Alignment, but the operational tasks, that is what kills a lot of time. And there we don't have to, if every person is clear, every individual every team member is clear what to do. Then others don't have to spend time, micromanaging or reviewing or monitoring that work. If we understand each other really well, which includes our understanding about each other's capability, each other's skill, each other's purpose, values, and all that, then I can really predict to a large degree how you will go about carrying out a certain task. So then I don't need to monitor it anymore. So these are some of the ways that I try to minimize my work, and COVID sorely helped a lot because it put everything into perspective. And I dare say that, at least personally, it gave me a very good an opportunity to understand and create a mental framework for everything that is important to me, including my family, my friends, my team members, my business, our customers, the parents of the players that we train, all of them into one consistent model, right? And that up to a large, in a lot of depth is what I would say. And when you live according to a model which is really consistent from top to bottom, right? And across the entire width of wherever you want to spend your limited time on this planet, then anything that you do just adds to everything else, because these are all interconnected in a constructive, consistent framework. So for example, if I spend good time with my family at home, it starts benefiting the company as well. Or the clarity that I get when I interact with you at work, it helps me to become a better, to spend my time better in a better way with my family at home as well.
Sure.
So such a model, I think it is really helpful. At least for me, it has been really helpful to ensure that I'm having fun doing, my role as a CEO of the company.
Right. So interesting. I think we come to the end of this episode with this interesting thing that you said, that you're enjoying the role that you play. And I think that has been the key driving factor for each one of us. Not only you, not only me, but anybody, that if we enjoy doing what we're doing, I think the outcome is any day better. The process and the journey becomes so much more fun. So yes. So thank you so much, Kishore. Thanks for giving us insight on your role and your life as a CEO. We hope to see you back again in the next episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shruti. Had an absolute blast talking to you.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank you.